Hello there, I am your host, Memeobi, and welcome to Memeobi's Galaxy, the only podcast where the Force is strong but the memes are stronger. Today we are jumping into Season 2 of Andor with one question in mind. Who's showing up? Will K2SO finally make an appearance? Will Thrawn be there with all his blue glory? Or is Jar Jar Binks going to be in witness protection? Grab your blue milk and buckle up for today's very fun and exciting episode 1 week before the premiere of Andor Season 2. I am joined, as always, on these episodes by Ethan. Ethan, hello.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Glad you're here. So we're going to talk Andor today and who we think are going to show up. But first, we have a special segment of the podcast called Ethan's Dreams. Ethan, would you like to just go ahead and get us going on Ethan's Dreams?
Yeah, I feel like when you put it that way, it seems a lot crazier as a preface, but trust me. Okay.
Explain what's going on here.
I'll just go right into it. Okay?
Explain what's going on here.
So I had a dream one night about Star Wars. When I dream, I don't just dream. I am there.
Mm-hmm.
I know lucid dreaming is kind of a myth, but I swear I can do it.
Like controlling your dreams?
Yeah, like if I'm there in my dream and I know what's happening, I can totally control where I'm going.
Nice. So,
what I'm about to explain, I have redreamed twice. So
nice.
I've dreamed this dream 3 times and gotten a few more bits and pieces of this.
So tell me, I've been waiting for weeks. What is this dream?
Yeah, so I got into this crazy idea of shapeshifters in Star Wars.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and as soon as I started thinking of that, I was like, well, you know, let me do some research on it first, because I know it's kind of been a thing in Star Wars before. Yep. You know, so because in Star Wars, I think they're called changelings.
Changelings?
Yeah, changelings. Or the group of people, they were called Claudites, is what I saw. I think it was in
episode 2 or just
in episode 2, yeah.
Zam Wessel?
Zam Wessel, that's the one.
Yep.
So, you know, I did a little bit of research because I started thinking about that.
Yeah.
And here's how my dream went. So, just so you can kind of picture it in your head, I want you to see this imagery as if it's like Clone Wars graphics. Like, imagine young Ahsoka, you know, and Clone Wars graphics. So
perfect. All right. That was the longest intro of my life. Just tell us the
dream. Yeah. So, what I saw was one of these. So this is a story about the changelings or whatever, about the Claudites. It's a Claudite people. All of a sudden, there has been made a show about them.
Mm-hmm.
So
that could happen.
Yeah. So, but what I had seen is there's some sort of outcast. You know, like there normally isn't a show that some sort of characters inspired by them being an outcast. What I had seen was this woman, this girl, but the thing about her is her look wasn't like dark feeling. Like there was something peaceful about her. Okay. Where it was like, you know, kind of like just a nice looking dress outfit thing that she had, but there was something about her that was like peaceful and like, you know, she definitely looked like an outcast. Like not a lot of people knew her.
Okay.
How she came about was Ahsoka was on her own little journey or adventure, and she came across this lady. It was like, you can picture it as if she came across her in like the woods or something like that. Okay. And all of a sudden she met this lady in this little cottage she had or whatever. But she was a Jedi.
Okay.
As far as I know, she was a Jedi.
Okay. Yeah.
She had a lightsaber hilt. So belt on her. There was a lightsaber hanging from her, and that was it looked like the shot was like Ahsoka noticed that. That's where her eyes went to, and then all of a sudden wanted to get to know this person, but didn't ask about the lightsaber yet. But this lady was a shapeshifter, and the only way that Ahsoka found that out is she told Ahsoka everything about the Claudites and the way of a changeling, and why she was an outcast, and that there was actually a lot of them that mastered the dueling of lightsabers and how they practiced together, and it was this awesome, beautiful, peaceful thing that they had. Okay. But where the shape-shifting happened is they had this beautiful conversation, and then she walked away from Ahsoka, and she like turned halfway into like this, it was almost like a wolf sort of looking thing, and then it went into like this horse, and she was like half centaur into a full horse.
It's like real changing.
Yes, like changing. She's changed all of a sudden to this full horse, into like a Pegasus. Okay. So now she has wings.
Crazy.
And but it was all like a beautiful thing. Like Ahsoka was astonished. Like this character's awesome. And then this Pegasus like flew up in the air, you know, and it turned more into like this beautiful bird, you know.
Okay.
What was cool was like she would like fly around, and Ahsoka's watching this and like mesmerized, and the lightsaber hilt. I really remembered that because you could just see the hilt like hanging from her as she's flying around, and she like looks at Ahsoka, spreads her wings, and Ahsoka's like in awe and just wondering about her. And she comes down and she swoops up Ahsoka,
Okay.
And Ahsoka's like hanging on to her. She's like talking to her about it. And Ahsoka goes, I have to ask you about your lightsaber, you know? And then this is where I'm so mad. But she goes to pull out her lightsaber and show her. Like, it was like she was about to click the button.
Yeah.
And my freaking alarm goes off.
Nice.
And I wake up and have to go to work. And now that Ahsoka's talked to her and about to find out what color the lightsaber is.
Oh, gosh.
And how she's going to use this in the air. You know, can she use this lightsaber flying around?
Sure.
Like, it was amazing. But right as we were going to find that out, I woke up. And I have not been able to redream that since. But I was like, I have to talk to you about this. How cool would that be if they made some sort of show
like shapeshifters
about shapeshifters? You know, the changelings or like a group
probably
of
not quite them because I don't think they change quite that much. But yeah. But like
I know it's a whole different thing than Star Wars has seen. You know?
I think that feels very extended universe. Meaning, I feel like in this massive universe that like it totally could be a thing.
Yeah, when I started doing the research, I had seen like there could be a possibility, and I'm not just talking about like Zam Wessel, you know, a whole
actual
different idea, like an actual shapeshifter animal, like peaceful creature that can have a lightsaber and
like
be
a Ditto
part
in
Jedi.
a way.
Yeah,
meaning it can transform to any creature.
Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, that was my dream, and I wish you could have been in that dream with me. It was so peaceful and happy and amazing. But
that's great. Thank you for doing Ethan's Dream Corner today. And now we're going to get into the sack of potatoes of the message. So, Andor, Season 2, is going to drop in 1 week from when this episode airs.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this, it's 1 week from now, Tuesday. And we're getting 3 episodes. And
release 3 episodes.
Three episodes every week, and they're each 1 year apart. I found out.
What? Oh, okay.
So
that's what you're saying now.
Each 3 are 1 year apart from the other 3.
Yeah.
So like when
my mind instantly went to we're gonna get 3 episodes, and the next year we'll get the next.
No. Sorry. Our last podcast, I said that it was like maybe there'd be a time jump of like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But now we know it's one every year. And the final season will be the exact same year as A New Hope.
Yeah.
So, who do we think will show up in this season, if at all? They did a good job in season 1, and what people liked is it's not hinging on having cameos. Yeah. There's not like Yoda showing up and people like that, like in other shows. Like it's its own thing. But with that, it has to end at the same era as Rogue One. Mm-hmm. So to say that.
Or just another way, right into New Hope.
Right.
Another way to think of it.
It's right into New Hope. So to have the same, it's probably going to have a lot of characters from Rogue One.
Yeah.
We know Admiral Krennic is in it. Admiral Krennic? The guy from Rogue One that makes the Death Star.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Andor. So it wouldn't be that crazy if like the other like captains and stuff from Rogue One on like the base would be in it.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want. But people are like, oh, but I don't want cameos. Okay, that's not.
Who are we excited to maybe possibly see?
Right. So the story is gonna follow. It has like 4 storylines. I don't know if you know, because there's Andor.
Yeah.
It's gonna follow Mon Mothma like it did for season 1, and it's probably gonna follow her leaving, right? Because by the time episode 4 happens, she's the leader of the rebellion. But in season 1 of Andor, she was not the leader of the rebellion yet. So here's my first crazy take.
Start us off.
In the show Rebels,
okay,
they rescue Mon Mothma. They take her from Coruscant, and they take her to the Rebel base. And that was about 3 years before A New Hope, which is when one of the seasons is set. So it wouldn't be that crazy if some of the Ghost crew shows up.
Wow.
We've already seen we've seen all of them live action now, right? We have Harrison Dula live action. We have Sabine Wren live action. We have Zeb live action.
Yeah.
Like we have all of them live action.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think of that, like the difference of it being live action from that.
Yeah. So who
are they going to cast?
I don't think, hopefully we don't have like a whole episode of them like teaming up because we didn't get in Rebels, but I could see Hera specifically.
That would be so cool. I would love that.
Because like you can hear her name in the back of Rogue One. We know she's there. We know she was at the Battle of Endor.
She's a cool character.
Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
We know she's there, so it wouldn't be that crazy for like. Right? Is that crazy to think that she'll show up in the background?
I think it just shows that's a good like era of Star Wars knowledge for you, like to know those times and think back on Rebels, like that totally makes sense in my mind, and that's doable for sure. So
I mean, but
good on you.
Realistically, there's going to be one season, like season 2 probably is going to be Mon Mothma's not the leader, and then season 3 is going to be like, oh, this is now where she's the leader now, and probably because they haven't done a thing where they've retconned anything of their own, right? Like that's why they haven't done another Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan on Tatooine fight, because they did it in Rebels. Like they already did that, so they're not gonna. They haven't done it yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's my first thought. What about you? What do you got?
My first thought is going to surprise you probably, but I think Greedo, or some sort of like Rodians in general.
Rodians, yeah. Rodians.
Yeah,
Remember that from last
time.
Greedo specifically.
Yeah,
you think so? He's like in he's in like the Bounty Hunter Guild and stuff.
Yeah, I just think he's like barely shown at the start of A New Hope, and maybe we'd see a little more of Greedo right into that going before,
cool. That'd be cool. I don't know how the story is going to go, because it's mainly Andor, right? Like kind of basically the story is Andor slowly getting more and more into the rebellion, and like I think he kind of goes more on the philosophies of who's the guy in Andor, I forget his name, the older guy that sells like the antiques or whatever, and he like is the one that's kind of making the Rebel Alliance happen. Big like more extremism, because we're gonna meet who's the guy from Rogue One? What will you become? You come here to kill me?
I don't know his name.
What's his name? It's Forrest Whitaker. What will you do when they find you? What will you become?
Just gotta have a segment where you quote characters.
What is his name? That's Saw Gerrera. So
that's a hard name to remember.
We know we're going to get Saw Gerrera in it. So I think Andor is going to slowly, more and more become more extreme, right? Because the first of Rogue One, he just kills a rebel to not slow him down. Like he's kind of like, he's in it to make it happen.
Yeah.
So Saw Gerrera, Greedo, that's kind of a crazy one to me. That's kind of wild.
Really?
Because why?
Well, I don't. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't see Greedo being like a major appearance and character.
More like a cameo, like a background
in a filler scene or something. He's Andor goes and sits somewhere, and Greedo's sitting there talking with someone else. Working a deal or something.
Yep.
I can see us being like, hey, that's Greedo.
Do you think we're going to go to Tatooine? No, we're not.
I don't think we are.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your second pick. Here's my second pick: Leia Organa.
That leads into one of mine pretty well.
Right, because so in Rebels, we have her first helping the rebels, and she's like pretty not invested.
Yeah.
But by the time episode 4 comes out, A New Hope, she's like pretty in it. So I could see a potential like this third set of shows, her being a little more involved in something. I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know who's going to play her.
I was going to say, casting her, though.
Well, they have her in Rogue One.
That's my big question. Yeah.
CGI face, just like they do Luke. I could easily see them doing that.
Yeah.
But in that one, they had someone do a voice for her. Like it should, like they had like an AI voice at that time of old clips of her.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to me.
I don't think it should. I don't know. It's kind of like hard. I hope there's no cameos.
Really?
I hope there's no major cameos. I hope they're all background. Like I want the ghost crew to be in the background.
So let me ask this on that note. What is the big problem with seeing a cameo?
Okay, wait, cameo or like a main character coming in? Like is Hera Syndulla joining Andor, or is she just like in the background of like a planning thing and like has a line or two?
I guess I should say character coming in.
Because character coming in, it pulls away from the characters we already have from season 1. It feels like most people think it cheapens it because it feels like the creators are like, oh, let's fall back on these characters we already know people like, so that they'll watch the show because they'll like it. Oh, this is Hera Syndulla. They like that. When it's like, okay, let's just stick with the story we have and don't take away from it. I know it's all connected in Star Wars, but people like it to be a little more contained and less where you have to watch something else to know what it is.
Yeah,
that's why I think Ahsoka.
I can see that.
That's why I think Ahsoka struggles. Because you have to watch.
I think it's hard because it's so give or take, because if you put in characters that people know and like, it's cool because it's tying into everything and you can see how it ties in well, but at the same time, I agree. It is nice to see a full season or show about, just Andor. You know, we don't need these other characters.
But yeah, because the reason Ahsoka struggled is because you have to watch Rebels.
Yeah.
It's so confusing without Rebels.
Yeah.
Because, like, who's Harrison Dulop?
I can already think of, like, 4 friends that didn't enjoy Ahsoka that much, but they didn't watch Rebels.
Exactly.
That's the problem with it.
That's why I felt like Ahsoka should have just been animated. Anyways, I digress.
I disagree there.
Okay. Well,
I liked it.
No, I know, but, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, it fit with...
I get what you're saying.
It fits with what they already had. But, okay. Mine was Leia. Who else?
So I was going to say that goes well with the character I was going to say. I was going to say Bail Organa.
Bail Organa.
So I think if we see Leia, we'd probably see Leia and Bail.
I think we'll probably get Bail. He's getting pretty old.
Yeah.
He doesn't really look the same as he did. But I could definitely...
facial hair.
That one doesn't feel crazy. Another non-crazy one is Palpatine. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the Empire. Like, we're at least getting a hologram of Palpatine saying something.
But it'd have to be another CGI.
He's not dead.
I know, but he doesn't look like
Yeah,
Palpatine
he does.
then.
What?
Still right now?
He's super old now. So now he looks... Because Palpatine then is super old looking, right?
Yeah, but he was, like, old looking with... Well, I guess they didn't do too much to his face.
They did him in Kenobi.
Yeah, true.
And he was, like, fine.
I guess that's not too far stretched.
Here's another thing. Do we think we're going to get a Darth Vader situation?
I saw something on that. That's one where I agree with the I hope not.
Yeah.
It's Darth Vader. He's amazing all in himself. Like, that totally takes away from Andor for me if you see Darth Vader.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, what's he doing?
I'm fine if they talk about him.
People would like
There's
rather...
mention of him, but not seeing him.
Yeah, because he's not really like a political figure.
No.
He shouldn't really be known by most people.
Mm-mm.
He's not really out and about. Like, obviously he has a presence, but like... Yeah, that one would take away because
I agree.
instantly you would rather want to be watching that show. Yep. It's like, oh, Darth Vader, I want to see what he's doing. Right. But I will say this now. I hope they never make a Darth Vader show.
I can agree with that.
Like, it would be super cool and like hardcore, but like, one, the guy's about to die, the voice actor. Yeah. And 2, it's like they've done so well at not messing him up. Let's just leave him there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Darth Vader, how we have him now in Star Wars, is great and needs to stay there.
Everything he's done is awesome. His comics are great. Every live action performance, his Kenobi was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so no Vader, huh? Okay, who else we got?
So I was gonna say Ahsoka.
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
We could get Ahsoka because in Rebels, her code name was Fulcrum, and she was pretty pivotal to the creation of the Rebel Alliance.
Oh yeah.
She was giving them information. She was helping out a lot. She obviously teamed up with like the Ghost Crew a lot, so like it wouldn't be that far fetched that she teamed up with someone else. But that is one that I would be like.
Oh, you wouldn't like it?
I would, but
wait, not that much of a.
Wait.
Okay.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Your perspective of what you want in a show is purely based on what you want, right?
Yes.
When I think about
probably 90%.
I think about the community reaction to things. I think of how Star Wars fans are going to react. I want Ahsoka. I want the whole Ghost Crew. I want Darth Vader. I want all of these people. But I don't want it for the show.
My understanding of what you think is so different now based on these shows.
So
based on that, you just said that.
Right. So my perspective is, I think it would hurt the show, like to the general audience, to everyone, to the Star Wars fans would hate a lot of these characters showing up. I would love it. I am all here for it. I would Andor and Leia go on a date. That'd be awesome. I don't know what else. Sure, like none of it would bother me personally, but I'm afraid for the reaction of the community.
You really think the community wouldn't like Ahsoka that much?
Yes.
Wow.
I really think they would not enjoy an Ahsoka cameo. I think what we'll get is a background reference to her or a Fulcrum. But Fulcrum changes, right? He's a different guy, and like he's a rebel, or no, he's like an Imperial later.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I see it so differently. That's funny, but I am not like the regular community.
If I wasn't a Star Wars influencer, I would not think this way. I wouldn't care what people's reaction was, but I want there to be a good reaction to the show, so they continue to make more content.
Let me say why I mainly say Ahsoka.
Okay.
You're gonna laugh at this, and probably you guys too. Ahsoka with the tag of her also coming in with Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati.
But you can't. That wouldn't make any sense at all. What?
But why though?
What do you mean why? She doesn't meet them until after the fall of the Empire.
But what if she didn't?
What do you mean? In the show Ahsoka, she didn't know them.
Yeah.
So how could she meet them before the show? This is before Ahsoka.
The way I see it, though, is if Ahsoka's going to be here,
Okay.
I think we could also see them. Not together. We don't have to
Okay.
see Ahsoka and them together.
Okay, so they don't meet.
No.
Okay.
No, I see. Okay. Good clarification. Ahsoka would be separate from this. You know,
Okay.
Rebels Ahsoka is how I would see her being in
Well,
this.
there's like another arc just about Balin's skull now?
Yeah. No,
That
I
has
want to
nothing
see
to do with-
Balin's skull.
That has
and-
nothing to do with Andor. That has nothing to do with the story we're talking about of taking down the Empire. That would be so. I take it back. Though I don't want them personally, because that would so derail the story we have. You can't have this many storylines because currently we have 4 we're following. We're following Andor. We're following Mon Mothma. We're following that Imperial guy and gal that like weirdly like each other or something.
Yeah.
And we're following the Collector guy. So we're following 4 different storylines. Where could these guys even fit in? They're not Democrats.
I know. They would be another one. They'd be another storyline.
That'd be insane.
Because here's why I say that, though.
Okay.
Andor, in my mind, sure, he's trying to get... He's choosing a path.
Okay.
If he has so many different paths come up with him and he meets these different people,
okay.
you can see his decision making and where he wants to go.
Okay. So he just like meet him and then like say no to like what do you?
Yeah, I mean, or he says yes and all of a sudden they're in it. But
that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. But why can't they have another path there that he has to talk to and either avoid?
I mean, it could happen.
There's a thing about Andor. He's so just himself. He's singled out to him. You know that he.
Sure.
I just feel like that's another point to make that statement. You know, it's like I'm not with any people. It's his journey.
Okay, right. So he's joining some other group or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think the story that they're creating.
You really don't like this idea.
I think the story they're creating of Andor is him becoming more and more ingrained into the rebels, specifically, and like really buying into this thing.
But you don't see that being a possibility to be like a hiccup on the way.
No.
Wow.
And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope your dreams don't come true.
All right.
The Ahsoka dream's fine, but not this. Okay, what's some
I'm
other?
just trying to figure out another way we can get Shin in there somewhere.
Yeah, she's not happening. Ahsoka season 2.
My mind is in the same place, but I see Balin's skull and Shin Hati being a way to set up Ahsoka season 2 still.
How?
Because they're in it. They're like one of the main people of Ahsoka.
Right. They're in season 1.
Yeah.
You setting up season 2 would be things that happen after season 1. You can't set up season 2 by doing a prequel.
Well, I guess why is my question.
But what? You do realize the timelines are crazy different, right?
With the Ahsoka show and Andor?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I understand.
Right. Andor's like 10 years before.
Yeah.
Shin Hati would be like 10.
I know. She'd be young.
And how would that set up season 2 of Ahsoka, which happens after season 1?
So you don't see Shin to Balin's skull kind of like a daughter-like person?
That's fine.
So seeing a young version of her, I think, would be awesome.
Okay.
You know, see that relationship and why they're together where they're at now.
Yes. But what does that have to do with Andor, the name of this show?
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Here's the thing. I'm totally fine with like a Tales episode, like a series about young Balin Skull and like how they got like that story is really cool. I would love to see more Shin and Balin, but it just doesn't make any sense in this trying to fight the Empire.
Yeah, I guess what happened with me is in my mind I see Ahsoka being a great appearance in this one, and because she's there and she has her show, and Shin and Balin are one of the mains in that. I was like, it'd be cool to have them included in there to set up for season 2.
That's fair. I will get that. But what's his face did die, which is a bummer. But
I know.
Real rough.
Ray Stevenson. Something like
rough.
Rip.
Rip. I hate rip. Rip. I hate that term. It seems so disrespectful.
Really?
Rip.
Just rest in peace.
I know, but just say rest in peace. Not rip.
Okay, true. Just rip.
Yeah, fat rip on that one.
Sorry about that guy. Rip.
Rip.
That's funny. I haven't thought of that way.
Yeah, go to a funeral and like you like the mourning mother of a dead son. You can say rip. It's so rough, dude.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that. It would have to be a recast.
But
they chose a guy though, right? The guy from Game of Thrones.
They chose a guy. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, we're not
Do
talking
people
about
know that.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah,
show.
sorry. Back to Andor.
We're talking about Andor. Can you think of anyone? Who you had one more, right? There was.
No, my main three were the Greedo, Bail, Organa, and Ahsoka.
I thought you had a fourth though. You told me.
My fourth was just that combined with Shin and Bail.
Okay.
Which when I wrote those down, I knew it was far fetched.
Yes.
Like when I think about who I actually might see,
yeah.
I think we could see Greedo for sure.
Yeah.
Greedo, Bail, and Ahsoka is who I think.
I think the main reason people don't like cameos is because it. I don't think I said this a minute ago, but it takes away from the storyline that we want to learn more about Andor.
Yeah. No,
We
you
really
were
wanna
saying that before. Yeah. I agree.
Darth
Makes
Maul.
sense.
He's around. He's crazy at this point.
Would you like to see that?
No. I mean, I would. It'd be awesome. I want a live action Darth Maul again so bad. They teased
I don't know.
it in
I don't
Solo.
see that one happening.
No, I could see him coming back in Lando the show, but because he's literally teased at the end of Solo.
I will say I've been proud of this show. Andor it's been a great show. I think that's why we're so excited for season 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys remember when Andor was first coming out. I think the audience wasn't actually too excited about it. At least I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I like Rogue One so much
that
I was like, are they just gonna make this Andor show about that and just ruin one of my favorite Star Wars movies? You know. And I was really skeptical of how well they're going to do with that show, but they did a great job on Andor, and I've really liked it. That's why I'm so excited for this season 2, and I just hope they keep it just as good.
Yeah, I remember because they announced a bunch of shows all at once. They came up with the cover arts, and Andor was one of them. And my thought was, they're just giving everybody a show now. Andor to some random dude that we know dies. Like, why would they make this? Like, what a pointless show.
Yeah, I was in that same mindset.
But dude, what I've realized is I kind of don't remember how the season ends, meaning the flashbacks. Right?
Of season 1 of
because he's looking for his sister. That's his main motivation at the first of the show. Yeah. And he has flashbacks of the planet.
Oh.
And then he has to leave with that one lady and loses his sister. And he's trying to find her later. But I don't remember if he finds her in the end of the season. Does he find her?
I don't remember that at the end of the season.
I don't remember at all.
So I guess we'll see in season 2 more of that.
Well, I'll finish my rewatch before the show comes out.
Yeah. I don't think that happened, no.
No. But
he didn't find her. We didn't see her.
Did we not?
No.
I have no memory.
I don't remember seeing her at all.
So what I will say
unless I also just really
something I really want to do is, have you ever seen like the Facebook videos where it's like an AI talking about a movie? He's like, the young girl is scared and goes to her mother, and have you seen those?
No.
Basically, it's like they show clips of a movie and it's like an AI voice telling what's happening. Oh. It's like the young girl cannot find where she's going, and I want to do that, but with only the flashbacks from Andor. It's like a society of children on a
That'd
jungle.
Be fun to do with just flashbacks in general.
On a jungle planet where a spaceship crashes above. The boy wants to join the gang, but is cast out.
Literally, make a post and say, "I asked AI to tell me what's going to happen in Andor season 2
no,
based on just the flashbacks from season 1."
But I want to make it and not say that it's from Andor, and make people think, "What is this show?"
Oh.
Because I think people forget about the
flashbacks.
Her? About the flashbacks.
Oh,
about him being young on on the jungle planet.
Mm-hmm.
I think when people think Andor, they think about all the live action stuff and the funeral and then the fighting.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of forgot about it when I watched it the other day.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really funny video because people will be like, "What is this?"
Man, you're really making me think if we did see her sister. I don't remember.
Because that episode 1, he's looking.
The problem is, I just rewatched episode 1 and 2, and I'm really remembering those. And it's been a while since I saw the end of Andor season 1. We'll have to rewatch it before we watch.
I am
season 2.
Working my way through. I think the old guy will die. Sorry, this is us now talking about what we think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think he's going to die. The old guy. What's his name? Man, we're bad at names.
We are bad.
He's going to die. That's it. It's only death. Saw Gerrera is going to be more pivotal in one of I think one of the 3 episodes. It's going to be all about Saw Gerrera's team. One of the episodes, or set of 3 episodes, I should say. But I don't know what
I think Andor is going to obtain some sort of new skill, and we're going to just kind of see him go off.
New skill unlocked. Is Lando going to show up in this? That could all these people are
I wouldn't be
here.
upset at that.
They're all in this
Yeah.
timeline. There's everyone from episode 4 has an option of showing up.
Yeah.
I hope Han Solo would be a crazy thing to show up.
That would be.
All of these
Or Chewbacca.
Jabba the Hutt, and I just don't want any of them to show up.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like
Han and Chewie.
Han and Chewie showing up would be insane, and because it would if Lando showed up a young Lando, it would feel like them just promoting a new Lando show that's going to come out. We'll see at Celebrations. They may introduce. We don't know what they're going to introduce.
Yeah.
They may show a new timeline. They may show because they normally do at Celebration. They show the Avengers style a big long list of here's all the movies we're going to make and the timeline they show up in. So hopefully we do, because that's this weekend. I'm kind of at the point of it where it's I'm just really excited for it.
Me too.
And I'd rather not think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to overanalyze before it comes out, because I don't.
I'm fine with not knowing what to expect,
Because I don't really have any hopes and dreams for it.
That's why I took a bit to watch the trailer, and then we were going to start talking about the show. I was like, okay, I better watch the trailer. But because a lot of the times I won't watch a trailer to a show because I like being surprised.
It's so nice not to watch a trailer.
I've just been I'm laughing because this whole time we're talking, it looks like Andor Bobblehead has just been agreeing with you.
He agrees. Yeah. He's been disagreeing with you.
Just agreeing.
I could see a Boba Fett cameo. A cameo. Very specifically a cameo. I'm talking just seeing the Slave One. Sorry, Disney. The fire spray. I could see his ship leaving from a spaceport, and that's all. That's the kind of cameos I like. I want to see everyone's spaceship.
For sure. There's so many spaceships that we can see.
The Ghost.
That'd be cool.
I want to see the Millennium Falcon. Heck, I don't even care. I want to see the Millennium Falcon in the background.
See the Rebel ships.
All of them. I want to see all the ships.
Maybe that's how we see Han and Chewie. We just see Millennium Falcon, their little heads as the ship zooms by.
Yep, that's all I want to see.
And then maybe Lando chasing after them.
No. I've changed my mind on that. I don't want.
You don't want to see Ahsoka at all.
I don't want to see Ahsoka, because here's the thing. My last point is the reason everyone hates Dave Filoni currently. One, he never lets his characters die, and he puts them in everything.
Yeah.
Ahsoka is in everything. Ahsoka is in the Ahsoka show, obviously. Ahsoka is in the Clone Wars. She's in Rebels.
Yeah.
She's in Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Book of Boba Fett.
She's a big deal.
She's in everything, and she's never dies.
Andor.
No. But that's why people hate him right now. It's because he puts all of his characters in everything, and they never die. I'm not saying they need to die, but maybe tone it back on Ahsoka a little bit. I don't want them to ruin her. She is a perfect character.
You could just hurt her in it.
That's not what I mean. No. She needs to die in Ahsoka season 2. Okay.
Wow.
The old guy.
Yeah.
And then the young.
Yeah.
But main character Andor main characters.
Main characters can't.
But main character Andor, that's a main character.
Yeah.
Mainly only Mon Mothma and Andor can't die. His girlfriend can totally die. She's going to die, realistically. The Imperial guy, he's going to die. The Imperial girl, heck, she could die. I wouldn't even care. Mon Mothma's children or husband could die. Exactly. And I hope they all die. I hope every single one of them dies.
Yeah. No, it would be cool if there was a lot of people died
more
like that.
Emotion. Like obviously you can't just make it a trope where someone always dies in it. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, that would make sense. If you're listening on YouTube, that's also cool. Shout out to my Apple podcast listeners. Give us a rating.
Ooh.
Let us know. Message me at Obi-Wan Memeobi on Instagram and let me know how you felt about this episode. If you made it this far, if you did, you're an insane person. And thank you so much. And here's our outro.